Good morning, sixth graders. Today I want to go over the answers for our story questions for a lesson in courtesy, and then also tell you which one of these are going to be on your quiz. So you're going to have a quiz this week. Half of it's going to be from a lesson in courtesy, and the other half is going to be from Tana Ika, and that's going to be on Wednesday. So literature this week is going to be a pretty easy week. Today, Monday, you just need to watch this review video on a lesson in courtesy. Tuesday, you're going to watch a review video for Tana Ika. And then Wednesday, you'll take your quiz. And then I'll have something posted for Thursday and Friday. So Monday and Tuesday, there's really nothing to turn in. So if you have any missing work, that would be a great day to work on it after you watch these review videos. Remember, if you have anything missing, you can turn it in, especially tests and quizzes. If you make up missing tests and quizzes, that will definitely help your grades. If you have any questions about where the reviews are for those tests and quizzes, make sure you email me. I'd gladly help you. They are open book, open review. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that and completing those assignments. All right, so let's go into the questions for a lesson in courtesy. So in our story here, we meet Usagi. He is a young, I guess he's a bunny, I think, and he's training to become a samurai. And we just learn a little bit about his personality and what he still has to learn. So for question number 1, what qualities is Sensei trying to teach Usagi? So he's trying to teach him to be more like a samurai and to look beyond being selfish and realize that there's more to life than winning. In the beginning here, we see, all he wants to do is beat his sensei and win. And, his sensei is trying to teach him that, there's more to life than just winning and beating someone. Okay, and then, Usagi is still, he's still trying to defeat his sensei, and his sensei is literally just like one flick of his sword, flipping him over. So for question number 2, what kind of strength is Usagi relying on? He's trying to rely on his physical strength. He's trying to physically beat his sensei. And then, he still can't beat his sensei. He's still not stronger than him. So his sensei tells him to go fetch some water. Why do you think that the sensei tells Usagi to fetch water? Well, he probably tells him to fetch water because he wants him to be more humble, to be more, to not be all about winning. He probably wants him also to learn some respect and, learn to help others, because that's what samurais do. They help other people. They're not really about themselves. And I do apologize. Let's go back to question number 1. Question number 1 looks like a great quiz question. So make sure you remember that the sensei is trying to teach Usagi to be less selfish and that there's more than just winning. Now let's skip now back to page 587. Okay, so here we see Usagi's going to grab some water. And he thinks, oh, is that all I'm good for? He just thinks I need to go get water. So that kind of goes into question number 4. Usagi's not understanding that he's not sending him to get water just because he thinks that's all he's good for. He's, again, being selfish. He's only thinking about himself, and he's not realizing, why is his sensei sending him to get this water? And then this is where we see, we meet the traveler for the first time. So the traveler's hanging out here next to the watering hole, and immediately Usagi gets really defensive, and he's like, what are you doing here? This is my watering hole. Okay, and question number 5 looks like a good quiz question as well. How is the traveler trying to bring out the best in Usagi by calling him young one? So he says, I'm just a traveler stopping to rest. You should learn some courtesy, young one. So he calls him young one because he's reminding Usagi that, hey, I'm older. I should be respected. Okay, so that would be another quiz question. Of course, Usagi doesn't treat him with respect. He's like, you can't tell me what to do. He decides he's going to attack him. So what does Usagi want to prove here? He wants to prove that he's a great warrior. He wants to prove that he's strong. And then here, we see the traveler just one swoop, chucks him into the pond. So question number 7 here looks like another good quiz question. Why does the traveler throw him in the water? Okay, well, the traveler, he doesn't want to fight Usagi. He's obviously still a very young kid. So he throws him in the water to defend himself and also to kind of teach Usagi a little bit of a lesson to show him that, you're not as powerful as you think you are. Look, one flick and I just threw you into the pond. Okay, so he throws him in the water because he doesn't want to fight him, but he also wants to teach him a lesson and, not let this little kid try and beat up on him. Okay, so obviously Usagi is very upset by this, and he's like, where do you think you're going? I'm not done with you. And then the older samurai tells him, this is my name, this is where I live. If you want to continue this, come and find me. So question number 8 here is also a quiz question. How does the traveler's actions show his inner strength? Okay, well, it shows us that the traveler has great control over himself because we all know that he probably easily could have killed Usagi, but he decided not to, and he ended this conflict peacefully instead of ending it with violence. So that shows us that he has a lot of inner strength. Okay, so this is a part of the story where we kind of fast forward. So, Usagi grows up. Looks like he's finally become a samurai. Okay, so he's on the road. He's looking for this particular village where the traveler lived. So we can see years later, he has finally become a samurai. So he has accomplished, what he wanted all along. And he looks like he's obviously grown a lot. He's very strong. Okay, so he goes to find the traveler's house all these years later. And question number 10 asks you, what do you think Usagi will do? So, he tells him, like, years ago you threw me into the water. I've come to do what I should have done then. So question number 10 asks, what do you think he's going to do? And I'm sure most of you probably put he's probably going to try and fight him now, now that he's become samurai. And you can see the traveler has aged quite a bit. He's older now. And we see, instead of fighting him, Usagi bows to him and says, thank you for the lesson. You can see that the traveler is quite happy with that. And then question 11 is our last question for our quiz. What is the most important lesson that Usagi learned? Who or what brings out the best in Usagi? So the important lesson that Usagi's finally learned is he finally learned how to behave like a samurai. He's humble. He's showing respect for others. And people like his sensei and the traveler helped him to bring out the best in him. So they taught him to be patient, and they taught him all of those skills that he needed to be a samurai by doing things like throwing him in the water. So it took all those years, but Usagi finally realized why the traveler threw him in the water and, why his sensei told him to go get the water. All of that was to try and teach him to be more humble, to help others, and to be more like a samurai. So that's our last quiz question. Okay, so just to recap, your quiz questions are: our quiz questions are question number 1. Question number 5. Question number 7. Question number 8. And then the last one, question number 11. Okay, so there'll be 5 questions from this. And I'll put this in a PDF as well, so you guys can read through it. So tomorrow's video, we'll be going over the answers for Tana Ika and telling you what quiz questions will be on there. And then I'll post a PDF of both everything you need to know from a lesson in courtesy and Tana Ika, so you can use those both on the quiz. So for today and tomorrow, if you have any missing work, I would suggest that you work on that. And it doesn't have to be for my class. If you're caught up in my class, look at your other classes. And of course, if you have any questions for me or any of your other teachers, please email us, because we want you guys to get your best grades you can during this distance learning and help you in any way that we can. So I hope you guys are having a great day. And if you need anything, please email me. Bye, guys.